Hello guys, today we'll be talking about the first triplet of Arabic, and I call them triplet because they are similar, well mostly similar, because they have the same way of basic writing, same rules, and very much mostly same everything, except some minor differences that we will cover today in this lesson. So without further ado, let's jump straight into learning them. Alright guys, as we mentioned before, when we learn any new letter, we need to start off by saying how it is pronounced and written in general. So let's see how that goes with the second letter of Arabic. So the second letter of Arabic is called B. 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 I want you to repeat after me. B. 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 And the letter B is the equivalent of the letter B in English. It is pronounced by closing your lips together as if you are blocking the air. So B is a labial letter, and labial means sound that require the participation of one or both lips. And as you noticed here, both lips were used to pronounce the letter B. Now that we know how to pronounce the letter B, let's see how it's written in general. Alright, when you write the letter B in general, or in its independent form, first, you need to draw the body from right to left. Begin by drawing a small hook, then continue straight along the line, and eventually end it with another hook for the tail, or the end of the left side. After you finish drawing the main body, place a dot below the letter, as you will see, and that's literally how to write it. And by the way, if you write two B in its general form beside each other's, you can actually use this as an emoji where it looks like someone who is deeply concerned, scared, or worried. Now it's time to move to its form and positions in a word. Alright, let's start off to see how the letter B looks like when it's written in the beginning. When it is written in the beginning, B is always connected, and connected means linked as a false reminder. When we talked about Alif in the previous video, we mentioned that it is connected only to the letter before it. B is a bit different, as it can be connected to the letter after it as well as the letter before it. But how do we write the connected B in the beginning? Well, just simply write the B in its general form without or minus the second hook from the left side, then connect it to the letter after it. Let's take two examples to make that clear. If we look at those two words, the first one, which is called Bait, Bait, which means house in Arabic, and the second one called Bahr, Bahr, which means sea in Arabic. In those two words, you can clearly notice that there is B in the beginning and is connected to the letter after it. Now let's move on to see how the form of B when it is written in the middle. In the middle, B is always connected, and it will either be only connected to the letter after it or connected to both letters before and after it at the same time. Let's take two examples again. You see the word kanaba, kanaba, which means couch in Arabic, and the word ibra, ibra, which means needle in Arabic. In both examples, you can clearly spot the B in the middle connected. But the B in the word kanaba is connected to both letters before and after it, while the B in ibra is only connected to the letter after it. Now last but not least for B, let's see how it looks at the end. B at the end is either connected or not connected, and in both cases at the end, just write the B how you write in its general form. Let's look into the case where it is not connected. Let's take the word kitab, kitab, which means book in Arabic, and the word sharab, sharab, which means socks in Arabic. You can clearly see here that the B in both examples are not connected or separated, and that's because they are written at the end of the word. Now if we look at the word kalb, kalb, which means dog in Arabic, and the word kutub, kutub, which means books in Arabic. In both examples, you can notice that the B is connected at the end and is written the same way you write it in its general form, except that it is simply connected to the letter before it. Alright guys, now that we talked about the letter B, let's move on and talk about the next letter. So the next letter is the third letter of Arabic and the second on the triplet, and it is pronounced as T, T, T. And once again, repeat after me, T, T, T. And the letter T is equivalent to the letter T in English. And the way you pronounce it is by sticking the tip of your tongue to the frontal gum above your teeth. And to make it more clear for you, T is an alveolar letter. And alveolar means sound made by putting your tongue against the hard area behind your top front teeth. And this area is called alveolar ridge. So the sound of the letter T is made by putting your tongue against the alveolar ridge area. Alright, now that we know how to pronounce it, let's see how it's written in general. Well, when it comes to writing the letter T, if you know how to write the letter B, then you pretty much know how to write the letter T as well. And that's because T is written in the same way you write the B, except that the dot written under is now two dots moved on the top or above the basic body form that we mentioned before. Hence why I said that the triplet letters are mostly similar with very minor differences. Alright, now it's time to see the different forms of T in a different position of a word. Okay, one more thing that makes both B and T similar is the fact that they have the same exact rules. They are basically the carbon copies of each other's. Means the same rule that applies to the B is exactly the same as T. So when T is written in the beginning, it is always connected as well, as it can be connected to the letter after it as well as the letter before it. And again, just simply write the T in its general form without or minus the second hook from the left side, then connect it to the letter after it. Let's take two examples now. If you look at those two words, the first one, which is called tamr, tamr, which means the fruit dates in Arabic, and the second word, which is called timsah, timsah, which means crocodile in Arabic. In those two words, you can clearly note that there is a T in the beginning and is connected to the letter after it. The same as B, when T is written in the middle, it is always connected, and it will either be connected to the letter after it or connected to both letters before and after it at the same time. Let's take two examples again. You see the word maktaba, maktaba, which means library in Arabic, and the word dafatir, dafatir, which means notebooks in Arabic. In both examples, you can also clearly spot the T in the middle connected, but the T in maktaba is connected to both letters before and after it, while the T in dafatir is only connected to the letter after it. Now lastly, for the letter T at the end, T at the end is either connected or not connected, and in both cases at the end, just write the T how you write it in its general form as well. Let's look into the case where it is not connected. Let's take the word صوت, صوت, which means voice in Arabic, and the word كروت, كروت, which means cards in Arabic. You can clearly see here that the T in both examples are not connected or separated, and that's because they are written at the end of the word. Now if you look at the word bint, which means girl in Arabic, and the word yacht, which obviously means yacht in Arabic, in both examples you can notice that the T is connected at the end and is written the same way you write it in its general form, except that it is simply connected to the letter before it. Exactly the same rules as B. Alright, now it's time to talk about the fourth letter of Arabic and the last letter for today. The fourth letter of Arabic is the last of our triplet letters for today. So once again, let's see how it's pronounced and written in general form. Okay, so the first letter is pronounced as th. 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 Once again, repeat after me. Th. 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 And the letter th in Arabic is equivalent to the letter th as in the word the in English. So the way you pronounce it is by putting your tongue against your teeth and blow air out. So th is an interdental letter. An interdental sound is produced by putting the tip of the tongue between the upper and lower teeth, and that's exactly what we do when we pronounce the letter th. Now that we know how to pronounce the letter th, let's see how it's written in its general or independent form. Th is written the same way you write the letter b and t, except that this time there are 3 dots on top or above the basic body form that we already mentioned before. It is kind of like the dots are traveling around the basic body form. Alright, now it's time to see the different form of th in different positions of a word. Similar to b and t, th got the same exact rules. So when written in the beginning, it is always connected to the letter after it as well. Let's take 2 examples again. If you look at those 2 words, the first one, which is called thania, thania, which means the second in Arabic, and the second one called tharwa, tharwa, which means fortune in Arabic. In those 2 words, you can clearly notice that there is th in the beginning and is connected to the letter after it. When it is written in the middle, it is always connected, and it will either be only connected to the letter after it or connected to both letters before and after it at the same time, as we mentioned before. Let's take 2 examples again. You see the word garathim, garathim, which means germs in Arabic, and the word timthal, timthal, which means statue in Arabic. In both examples, you can clearly spot the th in the middle connected, but the th in garathim is only connected to the letter after it, while the th in timthal is connected to both letters before and after it. Now lastly, for the letter th at the end is either connected or not connected, and in both cases at the end, just write the th how you write it in its general form as well. Let's look into the case where it is not connected. Let's take the word worth, worth, which means inheritance in Arabic, and the word hadath, hadath, which means events in Arabic. You can clearly see here that the th in both examples are not connected or separated, and that's because they are written at the end of the word. Now if we look at the word bahth, bahth, which means search in Arabic, and the word tahdith, tahdith, which obviously means update in Arabic, in both examples you can notice that the th is connected at the end and is written the same way you write it in its general form, except that it is simply connected to the letter before it. Exactly the same rules as b and t once again. Now last thing to talk about today are 3 quick notices. The first one, as we mentioned, b, t and th can either be connected to the letter after it or connected to both letters after and before it. And in the same way with alif, I will tell you which letters should be connected to them and which letters are never connected, but that's at the end of the course when we get to finish all of the alphabets. Let's make this a rule until the end of this course. As for the second notice, you can find multiple b, t and th in the same word. Let me provide you with 3 examples for more clarity. If you look at the word bab, bab, which means door in Arabic, the word toot, toot, which means raspberry in Arabic, and the word muthallath, muthallath, which means triangle in Arabic. In those 3 examples, you can clearly spot same multiple letters that we talked today in the same words, where in the first 2 examples, the b and t are written at the beginning and they are connected, and there are other ones written at the end but not connected. While with the last example, both th in the word are connected in the middle and at the end, and so on with examples. And by the way, for the word bab, you can notice that there is a letter alif in the middle. Well, I mention it because we learned alif in the previous lesson. 2 b in the beginning and at the end, and an alif in the middle. As we go on with this course, Try to spot letters that we previously talked about before, so you can get used to spotting letters. As for the last notice for today, you might see the letter T and Th written in this way, where the dots are turned into lines. So what is that? So basically, for dotted letters, which means letters that have dots in them, you can write the dots in another way, by simply connecting those dots to turn them into lines. And I'll show you that with the T and Th as we speak. And obviously, this can be done only with letters that have 2 or more dots, so you can form at least one line. Now, no matter how you write them, whether you want to leave the dots as they originally are or connect the dots, both ways are right. So write it in any way that you find it easy and comfy for you. Alright guys, that's it for today. I hope you found this lesson easy and simple. And if you have any question regarding this lesson, then make sure to drop them in the comment section below and I will gladly answer them for you. Next lesson, we will be going through some new challenging triplets, especially for non-Arabic speakers. So get ready for them. Goodbye for now, and I will see you in the next Arabic Ark.